This is one of my favorite quotes ever, probably, and it's the fact that if you pray for flowers, don't be surprised when it starts to rain. And it's all about how if you want something bad enough, you're gonna have to work for it, and you're just gonna have to go through a lot of work, a lot of pain for it, and a lot of failure for it. And I remember reading something once, and I think it's one of the best things I've ever read. I forgot the book, but it said something about once you fail, after your failure, what would you say to yourself? And the answer is always good, because failure is always good, because you can learn from it. Basically, you either win or you fail, but they're both good because you can learn from failure. You can also learn from winning as well in a way, but you can learn a lot from failure. And like, for example, if this video does badly, I'll learn from it, I'll make a new video. It's stuff like that. It's stuff, literally anything is like that. So there's always stuff to learn. And just remember, if you fail, let's say you have something coming up which is really important to you, you fail it, good. You can learn from it, you can go again. And that's the kind of mindset you want to have around everything in your life. It just works really well, and that's what I'll be talking about today. And a big part of this is being stoic, and it's probably something you've heard a lot about before if you've been around like self-improvement, YouTube, whatever. But just having the mindset that outside events, don't care about outside events, because you can't control outside events. You can only control your thoughts, then you control your actions, then you control your response to these events. And it's that simple. Like, for example, I've used the example, if this video is bad, I'll go again, I'll release another one. You can use this, like I said before, if you have something big, if you have like a big test coming up, whether something like that, a big event coming up in your life, which you've been preparing for a long time, and you don't do well, you can always control your response. Even if you don't do well because of some outside event, outside your control, that's fine. That's fine. You can always control the response to that. And that's the whole thing about this stoic mindset and everything. And it's always about you always have a response to everything. And don't waste your time worrying about outside events, because it's so pointless. Because like, you know, like, what's that going to achieve if you just worry all the time? So, and a really good question you want to ask yourself before a big thing, before something you've worked really hard on, is what would you do if all of this was for nothing and you failed? What would you do? And obviously I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if you put yourself in that perspective, visualize yourself. You failed, what are you going to do? And the thing is, you've already learned something. Like, let's say, for example, for this, if this whole channel fails and everything, like, I've still learned like how to actually make scripts, edit, talk on this, whatever. And it's that kind of thing. You want to find the benefits in stuff apart from the actual result. And I know that it sounds really weird, but just find the benefits in stuff. Just find how this has actually improved you as a person. Like, how does it actually improve you with skills, with everything? So yeah, you can find in literally anything, just find it. And the last thing I want to end on is, what's the worst that can happen? Because it's a really important question to think about, in my opinion, because it just grounds you back to reality. Because sometimes when you're in that situation where, let's say it's a really bad test, you've really messed up, like, does that really matter? Does it really matter? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Just ask yourself that question, because it's just so powerful. Because in your mind, you suffer more in your mind than in reality. That's a really popular quote. I forgot who said it. It was like some philosopher or something. But it's so true, because you suffer way more just thinking about it. You make up situations in your mind, you overthink. Everyone's so guilty of this. Whoever says they're not is obviously lying to you. Everyone is so guilty of just thinking something's like the biggest thing in the world just because they failed. And I'll tell you now, that's not the truth. There's always a response. Like I said, there's always something you can do about it. And I think more people should just realize that. it's just so powerful. So yeah, just remember, if you remember anything from this video, just remember, if you got this far, remember, what is the worst that can happen? Literally, what is the worst? And the answer you'll come up with might not even sound that bad, because you can always respond to it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.